Okay. Just making sure audio is good. Making sure. Okay. Mike, you want to say something? Give me a test 1, 2. Just making sure audio.
Test 1 2, test 1 2.
Okay. Mike, you want to say something? Give me a test 1, 2. Just making sure audio.
Test 1 2, test 1 2.
All right. Well, uh, hello, everybody, and welcome to the Sports Dummies podcast, where we get to sit here and talk about us being dummies and talking about sports. Welcome back. We have been away for a week. Going to be longer after tonight, probably, until we get a stockpile of things to talk about from here on out. This is our Super Bowl preview pick'em stream. So we get to talk about the Super Bowl. We get to pick the Super Bowl. Probably make some fun little wagers on the side there if everything else checks out. But we get to talk about all the coaching hires that we've just had. Lots of going on in the NFL to talk about. Some drama in the NFL that we're going to talk about, mainly coming out of Cleveland. And Mike, I'm going to get your thoughts on that. But for now, welcome. How's everybody doing on this
Welcome, buddy.
Super Bowl preview weekend?
I'm excited. The Super Bowl's here.
I am excited too. We got one more game, buddy, and then we are going into 6 months of depression.
Yes, we are. I was just saying that. Like, it's our last Sunday for a long time, not with no football. So,
Right,
you
right.
know,
So, yeah, we're gonna sit here and we're gonna talk about the Super Bowl. But before we get to all the Super Bowl stuff, it's very easy that we sit here and probably can take this entire show and talk about the Super Bowl, but we're not going to do that because there's a lot of other things to talk about. And what other things there are to talk about right now are the fact that every NFL programmed organization that needed a head coach has officially signed a head coach. So let's start from the top. Atlanta, only because they're in alphabetical order, basically. Atlanta gets Kevin Stefanski, two-time Coach of the Year, which I think for Atlanta is a wonderful get for them, considering the fact that we watched them all year last year, and they were always, you either thought that they were going to murder somebody or they completely shit the bed, right?
yes,
It
yes,
wasn't a competitive game. It wasn't almost
no,
there. It was either all in or all out. Um,
yeah, yeah,
I think Kevin Stefanski can probably turn that into more of an all in type games moving forward, than the back and forth. We don't know which team we're going to get from week to week. So,
right.
in my opinion,
I mean,
a huge get for Atlanta. What do you think?
yeah, I'm in the same boat as you. The only question mark I think on everyone's mind, especially Falcons fans, is Matt Ryan became the CEO, basically their
Mm-hmm.
GM,
Mm-hmm.
or head of football operations,
Right.
and he is not committed to Michael Penix as their starting quarterback.
Which,
Um,
if I was you and you were me, then I probably wouldn't either.
oh, me too. Listen. I agree with him 110%.
I agree as
We all
well.
know about the Kirk Cousins contract getting cut. There's
Mm-hmm.
not a guarantee that they won't bring him back at a lower price, but
Correct.
but a very listen. I think this is a great hire for the Falcons. They have talent everywhere on that team. They're
Absolutely.
young, but
Absolutely.
they need someone to lead. Is what they need, and I think they have that in Stefanski. And with Bijan Robinson, everyone knows Stefanski loves a running team, and they
Yeah.
have a big, heavy hitter offensive line, a hell of actually a two prong running attack in Bijan Robinson and Tyler Algiers, and they have Drake May and Kyle Pitts still. If they re-sign him, so um, all the pieces seem to be there. All he needs is a quarterback, which we'll see what's going to happen in Atlanta.
Right.
But if I'm Atlanta fans, I'm happy with the hiring for sure.
Yeah. Me as well. Me as well. Um, Our one chatter that we have here right now is asking if you got a microphone yet. Did you get a microphone yet?
I did not.
All right. Well, that's your damn homework for the off season. Okay, you get a microphone. All
Okay,
right. All right.
sounds good.
That's your
Is that
homework.
Johnny?
Yeah. Yeah.
All
So
right, John, I got
yeah.
you, buddy.
So that's your homework for this off season to make us better. He
All
said you
right,
sound better, so that's great. That's good news. He said you sound
good
great.
news.
So the fact that you don't have a microphone but you sound great, that's a plus. But you're still going to work
Right.
on getting a microphone to make us. You're
Yeah.
going to take that step to the next tier and make us even better,
Right.
Mike.
Right.
Okay, good deal. So that's good. Good to know that we are sounding good across the airwaves and we're coming through crystal clear. Um, so yes, again, Atlanta, in my opinion, took a huge step forward in making probably one of the most crucial hires that they could this offseason and hire Kevin Stefanski, two-time coach of the year. And who knows what's going to happen with Kirk Cousins? Like you said, they have a new deal in place to where they move some things around. They cut his dead cap hit towards the team. It sounds like he's going to get a release before the June 1st designation. And there's nothing in the paperwork or nothing from what they said as if that would be the end of Kirk Cousins' tenure in Atlanta. It kind of leaves the door open for a possibility of returning, which
It does.
I think personally, I think whoever gets Kirk Cousins next is going to get one of the best versions of Kirk Cousins because he's coming off a down year, right? To where
Yes.
the first year that he came back, he wasn't great. The second year he was on the bench. And now in his third year, as we've seen people come back from this Achilles injury, the third year ends up being the best year, right?
Right.
So whoever does get him, whether he goes back to Atlanta or another franchise picks him up, they're going to get the best version of him, I believe. Um, a surprising, not surprising, but a late firing in the process was Sean McDermott out of Buffalo. Something that I called for, and you couldn't disagree with it. You said I can
No.
see it happening, but I don't know.
Right.
And I said, I'm
Right.
telling you, if they don't win this year, then he's definitely out. Why? Because the big three weren't in their way: Burrow, Jackson, and Mahomes, and they still
Right.
couldn't get
And they
it done.
still couldn't get it done.
Still couldn't
Yeah.
get it done. So they make their head coaching hire in Joe Brady. Joe Brady is the new head coach for the Buffalo Bills, which a lot of Buffalo Bills personnel, especially Josh Allen, are very thankful for that hire. It keeps a familiar face in the building, especially a guy that works hand in hand with Josh Allen. So Josh Allen is thrilled to have Joe Brady. Um, Looking through some of their other coaches that they have here, not really any big names, to be honest with you. Um, you know, Pete Carmichael Jr., Jim Leonard. Um, Kind of never heard of these guys. Haven't even heard of these guys even being on anybody's radar, to be honest with
Jim
you.
Leonard. Jim Leonard, I know from the Ravens and his defensive background, so I think that's a good hire for them.
Okay.
Um, the other guy, I'm with you. Haven't heard of.
Right.
And honestly, my feeling on this hiring, it's kind of like a lateral move. I don't know if I were to give it a grade, probably a C. I don't know. They did it because of Josh Allen, because familiarity, which I get. Listen, you want your happy quarterback very happy,
Right.
B minus at highest. But um, listen, that team has a ton of talent. They need to win now, so I understand why they want to stay familiar. Um,
Not to mention too, that team is offensive first.
right, right, and then Joe Brady. Everyone knows he's their. I mean, he was the guy there. So
Offensive first.
yeah,
He's an
right,
offensive minded head coach right now because he was an OC. And if I'm not mistaken, he's the same guy that won an LSU a championship with Joe Burrow.
right,
So
right.
he's not some schmo either. He's got some
No, no, no.
accolades under his belt.
Oh, hell of a coach. Hell of a
Right.
coach. I just
Right.
don't know if it's the right hire at the right time for them.
I think it
So,
is,
but
to
it
be
may
honest
be.
with you. I think it is because I think because it's late in the game, Because they were one of the last teams to fire their head coach. Actually, I think they were the last team to fire their head coach. Um, if you bring in somebody brand new, you're going to disrupt the whole ecosystem, right?
Ooh, true, true. Especially with a veteran laden team.
Right.
Yeah,
And then you could have
yeah.
a situation with Joe Brady as it's the next team that we're going to talk about, and that's the Cleveland Browns. So,
True.
and this was the drama I was speaking about earlier in the NFL. This is the drama, right? So, Joe Brady could have easily ended up like Jim Schwartz did, right? Goes for the head coaching job, wants the head coaching job, wants to stay in Cleveland, and gets passed over, right? And as of this morning, as of this afternoon, Jim Schwartz put in his resignation. Now, they said that
Right,
resignation came in later, basically came in after he got passed over, but they finally acknowledged it and granted it today. Um,
right.
so you want to talk about being behind the eight ball. Now Cleveland is back behind the eight ball, trying to figure out if they can get somebody decent enough to come in and coach that defense, which shouldn't be hard to entice anybody to come and play for that defense, to coach that defense, because we're going to get into the honors. Myles Garrett, Defensive Player of the Year, which deserved, breaks the record,
Rightfully so.
rightfully
Yes.
so. Can't argue with the fact that he was a unanimous decision, just like TJ was back in I think 2014 or whatever it was. Unanimous number one, right? Not a surprise. But just that organization in general is just completely, in my opinion, just screwed up. They bring in Todd Monken, right, as their new head coach, um, who was with Baltimore, correct?
Yes.
Okay,
Baltimore's OC.
Baltimore's OC. So yeah, my thing is what do you see in Todd Monken that you don't see in Jim Schwartz? Not to mention it's a guy that's already been in your building. Are they thinking that Todd Monken is going to build up Shador Sanders to be a competitive quarterback in this league when it all your money right now is on the defensive side of the ball, which you should have probably hired a defensive coach for your head coach?
Yeah, I
That's my
listen.
opinion.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think the Browns are still a shit show.
They've
I
always
have
been.
no idea what they're doing.
It's
Yeah,
like
I have.
yeah, them. It seems like Cincinnati and Cleveland are competing to be not only the best team in Ohio, but the worst team in Ohio.
Yeah, yeah. I have absolutely no idea. And it's almost embarrassing. There were, I think, last count I had, 7 coaches turned them down for interviews, took their names out of the running for the head coach. What
Right,
does that tell you? You
right.
know?
Most notably was Mike McDaniels.
Right,
Most
right,
notably, um, because he was probably I think he was high on their board to hire him,
right, right.
and I think they were going to give him a serious offer and probably hire him, and he just turned around and said, "I'm good where I'm
Yeah,
at. You
no,
can
yeah,
take me out of the
yeah,
running."
right.
Um, because shortly after that, they went on a tangent and started interviewing everybody. Um,
Yeah. I got a call, as a matter of fact. So,
yeah,
awful.
yeah, I'm sure you did. Um, the Miami Dolphins, interesting hire, Jeff Halfley. You said you hated it.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. Not a
Okay,
fan.
tell me why you hate
Yeah.
it.
Um, he's been okay in Green Bay. He's put in good defenses. I give him that. I give him
Okay,
that. But he goes into. I just don't like the fit there. That's my one biggest problem in Miami. They don't know what they want to do. I know they're good. They go into an off season where they don't know what they're going to do at quarterback. They have
right.
a defense that a bunch of no names. They
Well,
traded
maybe
for Minka last. You
that's why
know,
they wanted a defensive-minded coach.
possibly, but his defense are always good for the first 12 games. And then the last 4 or 5, they've always shit the bed. Now that's not him as
Yeah.
personnel, obviously.
Right.
But I just think Hafley's one of these guys who's a really good coordinator. I don't think he's going to be. I go back to his college days in BC. He was a horrible college coach, head coach, and that's what keeps sticking in my mind. He couldn't. He number one, he couldn't get the recruits to come there at all. Okay,
Well,
which
it
is
was
BC. I get it.
Boston College
It's
too.
BC. It's
Yeah,
BC, right?
it's Boston
But I
College.
mean, right? But he couldn't even put 500. I mean, he had one winning season there. He was not very good.
Right.
And the players, he didn't get any like when they let him go. It was kind of like okay, it's time to go. It wasn't anything where he made the choice. You know what I mean? And that always like you say, like for example with Arthur Smith, he needed to go back to the pros to reinvent himself. You know,
Go back
he
to
just
college.
to me
Yeah.
doesn't right. I just don't see him being a good fit in Miami. I don't see him being a good head coach, but maybe I'm wrong. I just don't like the fit there. I don't at all. I think it's a bad hire for them. I think the
Okay.
Dolphins should have went. They could have went anyway, but that team needs a retooling. We've talked about that the entire season. We probably saw the end of Tua as a starting quarterback in Miami. He'll
I
be in.
believe.
He'll be
I
in.
believe. I believe not only do we see the end of a starting Tua in Miami, but we've saw the end of a starting Tua. Period.
Oh well, I think he'll be in that merry-go-round of quarterbacks making their rounds this offseason to see where they're going to end up.
Mm-hmm.
By trade or by their own.
Mm-hmm.
They got cut. And so we'll see.
But
Because
see,
he has
that's
a
the
big
thing.
number.
That's the thing again. I don't think Tua sees the field unless the starting quarterback gets hurt.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Because if you think about it, the
Listen.
first 3 teams in this draft are probably all going quarterback. Maybe one of them goes defense, but I wouldn't think that many of them are going to go not without a quarterback.
I only think the Raiders go quarterback. I don't think there's another quarterback taken to like 14 or 15.
Really?
I think Ty Simpson's second. Yeah, I think Ty Simpson.
You don't think the Jets or Arizona goes and grabs a quarterback?
Not at 2 or 3, no.
Wow.
No.
Okay.
Only because I don't think teams see Ty Simpson as that guy.
Well,
that high. That's the only reason.
Then what do you look at Chambliss as? Because all indications are pointing at the fact that he's not going back to college. He's going to have to go pro.
Oh, listen, I honestly wouldn't take anyone in the first round but Mendoza out of these quarterbacks.
Right.
I think Chambliss is a day 2, 3 pick. I don't know. Probably a day 2 pick in the second or third round. Simpson, I think he'll go in the first, but I think anywhere from 15 to 24.
Yeah, I don't even think Simpson. Yeah, I don't even think Simpson should go first in the first.
Oh, I don't either, but I think he will just because of needs for a quarterback.
Right.
Right. I just don't think he'll go in the top 5.
Right.
And I mean, if he does go that early, good for him.
Yeah.
And the team's going to take a chance on him for sure.
Yeah.
So
yeah. But yeah, going back to the whole carousel with the quarterbacks and everything like that, Tua is going to end up being probably in the same carousel as Kirk Cousins is going to be. And I know that Tua's probably biggest asset has been his accuracy, but his durability obviously is the biggest question. Right?
Right.
So his accuracy has been on point, but his durability is just, he's one hit away from being a retired ex-NFL.
Yes. 110%.
At least it seems that way. I mean,
right.
I can't imagine another organization taking a chance on him and paying him $30-40 million when one hit could put him out for the year, if not his career.
Yeah, I mean,
so, I mean, he's going to end up being, to me, he's a Jameis Winston, right? He'll bring some hype.
That's a good act. Yeah.
He'll bring some hype because he's Tua, but he's your reliever, right?
Right.
He could probably start you a game or two and maybe pull out a win. But other than that, long-term wise, you can't rely on him.
Yeah, I don't see him being a long-term answer for anybody. I think that's a great analogy. I think he's one of these guys. If you do get a young but maybe he'll see the field just because of that. But I'm like, he's not a long term answer for anybody.
I don't think so.
A matter of fact, if you look around these veteran quarterbacks in this merry-go-round of free agents coming up,
Mm-hmm.
Guys who have contracts like Tua, like Kyler Murray, uh, Cousins is probably going to be a free agent. Daniel
Right.
Jones is a free agent. Malik Willis is probably the biggest name right now, number one on your board for whoever wants a quarterback, just to give him a shot. So it's
He's probably going to
interesting how it's
be.
all going to.
I was going to say he's probably in a free agency market. He's probably going to be the most sought after. After he
Right.
goes, then the dominoes will follow.
Yes.
Right.
Totally agree.
He's
Yep.
gonna
Yep.
end up having to go on a 12-team tour of the NFL and get wined and
That's
dined,
right.
you know,
Yes.
by
Yes.
everybody before he makes a decision for himself.
And it's funny because what has he shown really? He's a solid backup.
Right,
He
right.
was. We'll see. We'll see.
The same can almost be said for Snoop Huntley as well, right? He's a backup
True.
quarterback that can win you some games.
Right.
But
Right.
in my opinion, Snoop Huntley should never leave Baltimore because
I think he's found the perfect home.
he's Lamar Jackson Jr.
Yes.
I know
Yes.
he has a name himself, but he's realistically Lamar Jackson Jr.
Right.
Because they can at least still run that offense with Snoop Huntley the same and
Right.
efficiently as they would with Lamar Jackson because they're essentially the same
Right.
player. So, like you said,
Yeah.
I think he found his forever home in Baltimore as long as Lamar stays there. Them two should be tied
Right.
at the hip, a package
Yeah.
deal.
No
If you
kidding.
trade one, you should get the other automatically.
Absolutely.
So then Tennessee, this isn't in order by any stretch of the imagination. Tennessee gets their head coach and get Robert Saleh, defensive-minded coach, and their offensive coordinator is Brian Daboll, which was
I actually
announced
like that
recently.
pairing for them.
Yeah, both are tenured coaches. Both have been in the spotlight. It'll be interesting to see how. Now I know that Daboll is synonymous with the offense as well. He's kind of like a Josh McDaniel type. So it'll be
Right.
interesting to see him back in that role. But
He flourished at as an OC, by the way.
right, that's where he made his name.
Yes.
Robert Saleh, on the other hand, though, I almost look at this as this is your last shot.
Yes, I totally agree. Listen,
for being a head coach.
Yeah, because for all intents and purposes, he bombed in New York, but he there whatsoever from the front office down.
Right.
And this is he has a young quarterback,
Mm-hmm.
and he has a defense that's up and coming, and a boatload of picks.
Right.
So this is his team where you make or break. If you don't make it this time, you're not going to be a head coach anymore in this league.
Probably not. Another one of those guys are probably going to have to go back to college to reinvent yourself.
Yeah, unless the Niners need a defensive coordinator again.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. One of the coaches that you were looking at that you wanted here in Pittsburgh, Jesse Minter, ends up getting a head coaching position in Baltimore. Declan Doyle is his OC. Anthony Weaver is his DC. Anthony Weaver was another guy that was thought of for a head coaching job. Declan Doyle, not so much. Another one of those names that are not quite known yet. But Anthony Weaver's been around. But it'll be interesting to see how this pairing works, right?
Yeah. Yeah, big time. I've heard 3 different networks and on talk radio question these pairings together.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I think Weaver's a good coach. I think Minter's a good coach. I don't know the offense coordinator whatsoever.
Yeah, Declan.
But it's going to be interesting to see how they pair their defensive, tendencies together. But the OC is going to be huge in Baltimore, especially with Lamar Jackson if he's still there by the time next year kicks off.
Right.
Because he's going to make or break that team. So, I do like the Minter hire as a head coach, though. I do.
Right. Yeah. the couple names that we're still looking at is Shola and Schulhaas.
I was going to bring them up.
But for all intents and purposes, they're staying put.
Yes, yes.
And you know
it
who else
seems
is
like
staying put?
Yes, Matthew Stafford.
Matthew Stafford announced last night at the awards ceremony when he won MVP. Congratulations, Matt Stafford, MVP Matt. That he will be returning for the 2026 season.
And did you see who his new OC is?
I did. Cliff Kingsbury.
Yes. Listen,
I'm just gonna listen.
Match made in heaven? I
listen,
don't know.
I'm just gonna go on a record right now that LA is my NFC pick next year for the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm. I was just gonna say that, brother.
I'd have a hard time believing that you are not going to be able to what's the word I'm looking for? Convince guys that may be wanting to leave LA and go test the market. You're going to have a hard time convincing me that nobody's going to that somebody wants to leave that team. I don't think anybody wants to leave that team right now.
Heck no.
You know, I think they got, I don't know, I can't remember what they got Devontae for. I don't know if it was for 1 year or multiple years, but you can almost guarantee Devontae's coming back. If he was on a 1-year deal, you can guarantee he's walking into that office and he's saying, Matt Stafford's coming back, sign me back. I'll make a team friendly deal to stay. I don't want to go nowhere. You know, pay me mid-market value. I don't care. You know, it's kind of gonna. It might even be like an Aaron Rodgers situation. Give me 10 and I'm good. I don't care. You know, give me 8 and I don't care. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't care. I just want to play. I want to try to win one more year. You know, and
so he signed a 2-year deal with the Rams.
So he's got 1 more year left. This is his last year.
Yeah.
And maybe that was maybe that was the reason why he signed that 2-year, because Matt told him at the beginning of the year, I got 2 more years left, brother.
Right.
You know, I'm definitely playing this year, and then depending on how this year goes, will depend on next year. And you know, Devontae could have said, okay, well, I'll sign for 2 with an option. You know, 2-year contract with a 1-year option. And
that offense is so scary, man. Puka,
as of right now, it is, with Cliff Kingsbury calling the plays, dude, and Stola still there, and Schulhaas.
And Schulhaas, right?
Come on, man.
Right.
That's gonna be
honestly, if you're
gonna be stupid.
Those 2 coaches, why would you leave?
Right. It's gonna be
another
stupid.
Another year under your belt under McVay and Cliff Kingsbury now with that offense. Boy, next year you're going to be, you know, big on the market for head coaching positions. So, you know.
Oh yeah, and you already know that next year is going to have at least 5 to 7 teams that are looking for another head coach anyway. You know, coaches that were on the bubble this year that didn't get fired are 100% getting fired next year. Zach Taylor being one of them.
I was just going to say Zach Taylor being one. Yes.
Right. Zach Taylor being one of them.
Yeah.
Who's down in Tampa? Todd Bowles. He's another one.
Yeah.
You know, he's on the hot seat.
Even a guy like, you know, Aaron Glenn, if he shifts to bet again with the Jets, you know. Like,
I don't know. I think Aaron Glenn might be good for next year too. It's the 3rd year that I think he's going to be on the hot seat.
It could, you know, it depends how patient the Jets are, you know, because I really think Kyler Murray ends up the Jets starter next year somehow.
I don't doubt it.
He just seems like a Jet to me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't doubt it.
Even though they do have Justin Fields for another year.
Yeah, they do.
So
they do. But if they gave Aaron Rodgers in that team 2 years, I can't imagine that they won't give Aaron Glenn at least 3. Because with Aaron Rodgers, they had a stacked team. With Aaron Glenn right now in his team, they're not stacked at all.
Oh no.
They have 2 players. They have 2 good players, and one of them was hurt all year.
And now he's a free agent. Oh yeah, right. And the other one's a free agent now.
Right.
So,
Right.
You're right.
And Garrett Wilson was hurt for most of that year.
Right. So
So
I didn't realize this. He led the team in receiving with like 369 yards, the second lowest total ever. That's insane.
that's wild. That's wild as
Yeah.
hell. Um, but up in New Jersey, I say New Jersey, even though it's New York, but if you understand any of the geography, it's actually New Jersey. But the New York Jets ended up getting a new OC, Frank Reich,
Right.
which is a big upgrade for them, in my opinion. You know,
Absolutely.
Frank Reich was big in Indiana for a couple years. Um, so I think this is a big upgrade for them. I think this is a kind of helps right the ship a little bit for them. We'll see if it
Yeah.
delivers, but I think it's 100% going to help them.
Right.
But the other team that shares that stadium with them, the New York Giants, they hit a home run. John Harbaugh is their head coach. Matt Nagy is their offensive coordinator. Just the head coach alone, regardless of having Nagy there, but Harbaugh alone is your home run. I mean,
Right.
absolute steal to get John Harbaugh early and committed. I mean, that could be. That's a very far stretch to say, but the Giants. I'll say it. The Giants are going to make the playoffs next year.
I wouldn't bet against that.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm
In
with you.
two years,
I think they can
in two
possibly win
years,
that division
in 2 years, Giants are in the NFC Championship.
with that core and that coaching staff. Yeah.
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 Could be.
You know, right now, it's not hard to envision it. It's certainly hard to kind of argue it at this point, considering, like you said, the core players and the people leading that team. Kind of hard to go against that thought. Um, we're going to obviously save the Steelers for last, even though we've already kind of talked about that. But the second to last one here, Arizona, they get their head coach Mike LaFleur. So his brother Matt, obviously head coaches for the Packers, and Mike gets the head coach in Arizona. So he's going to at least see his brother once a year, at least.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
That's going to be cool. I think it's going to be cool. Another Harbaugh situation where
Yes.
we look
Yes.
forward to that. The
Yeah.
brothers going head to head, and their offensive coordinator Nathaniel Hackett. Interesting hire there. Um,
Yeah.
again, kind of like Miami. Who's throwing the ball? What are we doing? Right?
It again. There's a lot that needs to be determined there.
Right.
Who's running the ball? Who's throwing the ball?
Right.
They
So
have
those
their
those are your two right there because you got some pretty dynamic wide receivers down there, right?
yes,
Well, I think
and
we can agree
a
with that.
great tight end.
Right. And
Yeah.
a wonderful tight end, one of the best in the
Right.
league in such a short amount of time.
Right.
Um, defense wise, definitely needs to be improved. But the biggest ones, and again, I'm not even worried about the running back, to be honest with you, because
No,
they're kind of
they
a,
have young guys there.
no offense, but they're a dime a dozen, right?
Yeah.
It almost seems like you got the right scheme, you can make anybody a superstar in the backfield.
Right. Right.
But the biggest question is going to be, what are you going to do at quarterback? I think we've said this from the beginning. The Kyler Murray experiment in Arizona is all but over. You need to
Yes.
cut your ties and get on with it. And I think that is the overall consensus from what I'm hearing as well. Obviously, nobody's going to talk about any movements now because right now it's all about the Super Bowl. So
Right.
they're not going to do any of that type of talking until after the Super Bowl's over. But that's certainly going to be one of those big topics, Miami and Arizona, as far as
Right.
quarterbacks, and Atlanta. One of the last names to come off of this list and the last team who can't quite do anything financially yet or pen to paper yet, is that Clint Kubiak will be the head coach for the Raiders, right?
Right.
That's all but done, apparently. It's not confirmed, but it seems like that as soon as the Super Bowl is over, that deal will be done.
I like it.
I mean, you can't be against it.
No, it's better than what they've been doing. We'll say that.
Right. And
You
it's
know.
probably the best option that they have at this point.
Yes, absolutely. Right.
You know, because again, Shola and Schulhaus have already pretty much confirmed they're not going anywhere. They don't care.
Right.
They're staying. So that kind of takes two guys out of the wheelhouse that you potentially wanted to come in and have hire for, or, at least interview for the job, and they're not even going to take an interview.
Right.
So Clint Kubiak is probably your best option. And again, another team. What are we doing at quarterback? Are we going to stick with Geno? We paid him a shitload of money. So, he was another guy that got like a 3-year, $180 million deal or something like that.
Well, I think we all know what's going to happen at quarterback unless a trade happens. Mendoza is going to be their guy.
True.
Is he going to be the starter next year? That's interesting. I'm with you, Geno Smith. That contract, geez, they're going to have to either eat it or put him as a backup or let him play and ease Mendoza in. If I'm the Raiders, though, you got to love the Kubiak hire that's going to happen with the tight end position is set. The quarterback position is going to be young. The wide receiver, the running back position, you need to get some wide receivers.
Right.
The one concern is, in all intents and purposes, I guess that they're going to trade. It seems like Max Crosby. So
it's kind of sounding that way.
Yeah, it does. And if they do that, I think they'll get a pretty nice return for him.
Well, they should.
So,
yeah. I mean, you figure the guy played, 12 games last year and still had 10 sacks?
Yeah. I mean, come on. Wow.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah. He's a difference maker. You don't find those guys off the street.
No. There was even some speculation and a floated rumor that it could be a trade swap with the Steelers and the Raiders, swapping 1-for-1, TJ for Crosby.
Interesting.
Which,
I don't know if that makes any sense.
It's kind of like what the Steelers did with Pickens after getting DK. Now, granted, I understand the whole dynamic with Pickens, and it was kind of like we ran its course, and he was already sour here in Pittsburgh and kind of just want to start over new or whatever. But it almost seems that type of way where you end up getting somebody that you think would complement the other, and then you're going to do something else and completely just ship the other guy out of town or something.
It's funny that you say this because all week I don't watch the coverage of the Super Bowl at all. I think it's a waste of time. But I guess he's been a commentator and has commentated on the Steelers and Mike McCarthy. What a great hire! And
he has been on record
Will
by
Howard
being a big Will Howard guy, going to bat for Will
right.
Howard. He thinks that Will Howard is the bee's knees. And
so all interesting comments.
Yeah, interesting in the fact that he had taken interest in what the Steelers were doing.
Yes, exactly. That was my whole thing. Like, wow, that's
right.
Right.
Yeah. To which point, he doesn't really venture out of Raider atmosphere.
No.
He all year he said, last year, all year, I'm not interested in going anywhere else.
Right.
This is where I'm staying. I'm staying here. Might be a different tune now. He might see the writing on the wall there in the building and saying, well, I mean, this is a complete rebuild. Like, I don't know if I want to be a part of that.
Right. And I kind of think he saw the writing on the wall at the end of the year when they made him.
Oh, yeah. Surgery. I mean, that definitely soured his grapes.
Yes.
He definitely had some sour grapes over that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So there's some DCs that were hired. There were OCs that were hired. One of them was Drew Petzing that me and you both thought was a great hire by Detroit. Um,
Yeah.
Probably another guy that probably should have been looked at for head coach. Um, and then one of the ones that came up too was the defensive coordinator for the 49ers. Since Saleh had moved on, Raheem Morris has been hired for that position. Not sure
That's
how
a,
I feel about that one.
yeah. I don't know either. I really don't.
That one
I
might
know
be,
the guy made his.
yeah, that one might be like a wait and see type of thing, right? Got to wait and
Yeah.
see before we kind of call it what it is or call it what it could
Right. I
be.
mean, the guy made his chops in the NFL with the DC,
Right.
but Shanahan does things his own way in Frisco, and boy, he got the most out of that defense with Robert Saleh there. So
Right.
it's going to be interesting what Morris brings to that table for them.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm with you. It's kind of wait and see.
Yeah.
Now, did you? In the other news, Brian Flores' contract kind of got leaked today. He's making $6.5 million to be the DC. So the Vikings put out some money for him.
Well,
So
that's probably one of the reasons why they fired their GM so late in the year, because they needed to make up some salary.
Yeah.
But yeah, interesting moves out of Minnesota, not just football wise, but you can draw your own conclusion from that. The fact that you had your GM at the Senior Bowl all week, and then the day that he comes home to report, you fire him.
Yeah.
Just
Right.
bad timing. Bad timing,
Yes,
man.
very much so. Something happened. I don't know what was going on there.
Well, from what
You would
I
think it
understand,
would.
yeah, from what I understand is that there was sour grapes up there to begin with. Like an insider said, you don't really understand how bad it is here in Minnesota in the building, meaning you don't understand how bad it is. And I think somebody had told Schefter that, and he says, just wait, you'll see. And then Schefter was like, okay,
Well,
I'm not going to report anything. And then lo and behold, the GM gets fired, and he's like, whoa, and he's like, I told you, dude, it's bad.
so I'm looking at one thing here. Is this why? Because they let Sam Darnold go after a 14-win season. He
Could be.
goes to Seattle, wins another 14 games, takes him to the Super Bowl, and your Wonder Boy, who I have been on his ass the entire year,
Yep.
JJ McCarthy.
Yep.
They're not even sure if he's going to be the starting quarterback there next year.
I would probably venture a guess that he might not even be sure that he might be in that building next year.
Right. So
I mean, he could be a trade candidate. Well, you don't know.
Right.
Anything is possible when it comes to trade day or it comes to
Yes.
draft day.
Yes.
Anything is possible.
Yeah.
I
thought it was a bad pick when it happened. He sat a year, got hurt. He got hurt. That's why he sat a year.
Right.
Darnold has a phenomenal year. They lose in the first round. They let him walk. Don't even try to offer him anything. Go to Seattle. He's in a Super Bowl.
Right.
And your team struggled to win 6 games. Like, come on.
Yeah. Reminds me of the situation in Cleveland with Baker and Stefanski. Which did you see his comments this past week? Where Stefanski had made mention of Baker and how his play wasn't the greatest or whatever, and then Baker responded and said, "Well, this or that, and I'll see you twice a year this year, coach," or something like that. And so, yeah. So there's still bad blood between at least Baker. He's still feeling some type of way.
Come on, the kid got them to, because he was a kid then, won them a playoff game, for Christ's sake.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then they fed him to the wolves. Like, come on.
Yeah, and then got rid of him. Like, threw him out with the trash. And
Right.
everybody in the sports media world, that's all they talk about when they talk about Baker is how unharmoniously he was booted from Cleveland after taking Cleveland to the playoffs and winning a game on the road
In
against their
Pittsburgh, yeah.
rivals.
Right. And you let him go?
And then you let him
Wow.
walk. Now he hasn't made it to the stature that Sam Darnold's about to make.
Right, but still, he's been a heck of a starting quarterback, though. In my mind.
I would agree.
Something that the Browns haven't had. So.
I would agree. Well, the Browns now have a Pro Bowl quarterback. So I don't know.
Oh, don't get me started on that garbage.
Me neither. I said before, the only reason why he was a Pro Bowler is because 28 other quarterbacks said, no, thank you, I don't want to go.
Yes, and then his father says, congratulations, son, what a year. You had 7 touchdowns and 10 picks and 6 fumbles. Shut up.
Yeah, great year. It was a great year.
Yeah, fantastic.
So, I mean, whatever, I guess, to each their own. I don't know. Anyway, so that's really the only other big names that come to mind when I'm thinking about teams that have made some hires. Obviously, here in Pittsburgh, the biggest news that we have gotten was that Mike McCarthy, Pittsburgh native, is now our head coach. Mike, when we first started this journey and we talked about this of who potentially could be our head coach, he was on the list, but he wasn't as far on the list to the top of that list as we would want him to. We put him, but now he is the top of that list. He is the list. He's the only one on that list now because he is officially the head coach. At first, we both kind of said, what are we doing? This isn't a step forward. Right. This isn't a step backward. This is a step to the side. We're right back in the position that we were last year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. But after hearing him in his press conference and the passion and the pride that he has for this team, this city, his childhood, I fell in love with him, to be honest with you. Makes me very hopeful.
Yeah. The one thing that, we talked about it when it happened. I was very disappointed. I'm like, what kind of hire is this? Right. Saw the press conference, kind of got excited. But the one thing that keeps sticking in my mind with him, as I keep hearing more about him on Sports Talk, see more interviews with him, he was brought here to develop a young quarterback. Bingo. Whoever this may be. And when he leaves, we're going to be in a better place because of him and what he's brought to this team. So even if we lose next year,
which I'm okay with, put it on record. I'm okay with it.
It's a great hire just for that reason, because now we have something to hang our heads on, saying, damn, we're going to have a franchise quarterback here sooner than later, and not having 5 straight years since Ben left of brand new quarterbacks. So just for that reason alone, his passion and what he brings to the table,
right?
Man, I'm kind of pumped up.
I'm excited for all facets of the game here, right? For everything part of this team. We get a new defensive coordinator and Patrick Graham, which I don't know much about him, but I'm excited to have a new DC because the last 2 years of our older DC, I couldn't stand it. Couldn't stand it.
Right.
We get a new offensive coordinator in Brian Anchaleco, right? And he was with McCarthy and Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay. Other than that, I don't know too much else about him, but he has also helped in developing Rodgers along with McCarthy, which makes me very hopeful again. It also makes me think that it's almost a guarantee that Aaron Rodgers comes back for one last year to be the starting quarterback in Pittsburgh, which, again, I don't hate. I like it. I almost prefer it. Another year to develop and train and teach your franchise quarterback and Will Howard. And let Aaron have his one season to be with his starting head coach. And I think Brian was a quarterback's coach or something like that, or assistant or something like that.
Yes, so he was a passing game coordinator, quarterback's coach with Sam Darnold too. So that's kind of exciting.
Okay. That's very exciting. If that's the case, and he was in Minnesota last year.
Right.
Because you see the direct you see his work on display
Yes.
last year.
Yes. Yes.
And here
Yes.
we are saying that it was all KOC. Well, it wasn't. Brian had a lot to do with that as well.
Right.
Again, excellent. All
Yeah.
great things that Pittsburgh should be excited for.
Yeah.
You know?
So this kind of relates to me, which is weird, back to the Penguins with Mike Sullivan.
Okay.
One thing Mike Sullivan didn't do, and why they got rid of him, great coach, phenomenal. He never played young players. So now McCarthy comes in, and three young guys get a start here, a new start with Will Howard, Caleb Jones, and number 10 Wilson. They all have a new clean slate where they can start fresh.
Right.
And we can see what these guys can do, because we know Tomlin didn't like playing young guys. You know?
Yeah, he had his best friends, his boys, his his guys.
Right. The only thing that I've read, which I question, but again, I'm looking forward to free agency, looking forward to the draft. We're going to see what happens with Kenny Gainwell. You know, if they're going to bring him back.
I sure hope so.
I hope so. But again, I trust this coaching staff he's put together. It's a fresh start for us as fans. The fresh start for the Steelers as an organization. I see nothing but positive, personally.
Yeah,
so,
I agree.
We needed a restart. We needed to press that restart button. So,
of course we did. Of course we did. There was no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
right.
You know.
So I guess this week, from Fox, what's the reporter from Fox, the insider?
Jay Glazer.
Yeah, Glazer reported this week in an interview, nothing major, that he had a conversation with Tomlin last year, and he alluded to 2025 being his last year.
I did hear the same.
Which is pretty interesting. I heard it from someone else too. I can't remember who.
Glazer ends up being like one of Tomlin's inner circle guys, right?
Right.
So he sits here and he says that he's one of Tomlin's inner circle guys. He's very close with Tomlin, you know. And from that report, not only did it sound like it was his last year here in Pittsburgh, but it was his last year ever coaching. That he is retired.
I'll talk to you tomorrow.
It kind of sounds like, I mean, I'll never say never with coaches just because, but
well, of course you never say never, but still,
right.
You know,
but you're right. It sounds like that, honestly.
I mean, you certainly can't say never is never now, considering that we had Phil Rivers come out of retirement 4 years after the fact.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
So, who, by the way, was very heavily considered for the Buffalo job.
More so than anyone thought.
Very more so, to the point where the report came out that he was going to make the final list. And I guess after hearing that, after they told Phil that, Phil went home that night and then the next day called Brandon Beane and said, "Hey, look, I appreciate it more than you will ever know, considering me for such a huge opportunity, but I can't commit to it." You know, I mean, Rivers has like 7 kids or something like that. You know, and I think he's still going to be the head coach for his high school
football coach.
Yeah, for his high school team. But it sounds like within the next couple of years, Phil Rivers is going to have a headset on behind somebody's bench.
It does.
You know, so, and considering the fact that he was part of making the offensive scheme for the Indianapolis Colts this year, it wouldn't make it that much far-fetched of an idea to see that. Not like Jeff Saturday, where they called him.
And, remember that debacle?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah. Oh my God, they ripped him apart. They're still ripping him apart.
Yes.
But yeah. So, and it's funny that it's so funny because I'm watching hockey right now. I'm watching college hockey, Michigan versus Michigan State, and you talking about the Penguins playing young guys. Boy, I'll tell you what, that's a team, boy, I just don't recognize right now. There's a lot of young guys on that team, and they look
The
fantastic.
kid they call up, he gets a call. He drives 4 hours and scores one of his first two shots last night.
Which guy is that?
Avery,
His last name.
oh, I forget. I'll tell you right now.
Because who's the kid that had 2 goals the other night? Bindle?
Ben Kindle.
Kindle,
Yeah,
that's it.
he's 18 years old. I mean,
Yeah,
the kid's playing amazing.
looks
And
like
then
a
this
stud.
kid last night, they undrafted free agent, right? He's made his way up the ranks. They have an emergency. One penguin gets hurt. One penguin is on the IR. So they need a couple bodies. They call him up. So they call up Avery Hayes,
Hayes,
and he
that's it.
scores on his first two shots.
Yeah.
I mean, and he was playing lights out against a hell of a Buffalo team that's won 21-27.
Oh, by the way, I love the fact that Buffalo went back to their old school.
Oh yeah,
Their black jerseys with the red trim and the gray trim.
Yeah.
That's so sweet. All I see, every time I look at those jerseys, all I think about is Dominic Hasek.
Hasek, yeah.
Yeah, that's the only thing I think about.
Not to switch gears, but big win for the Pens last night, because now they're in a trade freeze right now. Everything's shut down in the NHL. But I think last night kind of sends them into what, because they didn't know what they were going to do at the trade deadline. If they were going to sit still or try to improve. That win last night puts them right back in the thick of things. Two losses that weren't so good.
Yeah.
And now they beat one of the best teams in the league. So, the Pens are right where they need to be. I think right now they have a 79% chance of making the playoffs. So, not to get off football, but, fun team to watch, like you said.
Yeah.
In 15 wins, this has never been heard of. In 15 of their wins, Sydney hasn't had a point, which is insane. So when has that ever happened? Him and Malkin didn't have a point in 15 wins. So, it's kind of funny when you see the Stars being supportive cast players instead of the guys.
Right.
So
right. Yeah. And Crosby's always been that. I'm going to make you a star because it makes me a star type.
Right.
You know what I mean? He makes the team better around him.
Absolutely.
So the fact that he doesn't have to, and again, he's older anyway. But the fact that he doesn't have to, go
carry
lights
them
out,
on a night in, night out basis.
Put everything on his back. I mean, these younger guys are holding up the ends of it.
Yeah.
I mean, they look great. They really do. Like you said, they lost a couple of games back to back there, but strong win last night, and who knows? This show could turn into Sports Dummies by hockey affiliation here by next week. We don't know.
I mean,
we don't know.
I watch all the games, so who knows?
Yeah, I mean, I try to watch every game that's on when I know that it's coming on.
Yeah.
But tonight was also the opening ceremonies for the Winter Olympics.
Yep.
So I'll be glued. Yeah, I'll be glued to that stuff too. I'll be making sure I get the schedule and watch that. So a lot of exciting things going on. So I think we've covered pretty much everything we could as far as the news that is going on in the NFL to date right now, mostly with all the coaching changes and the new hires and step downs. But now it's time to get into our picks.
Wait a minute.
Oh, okay.
One more thing we got to talk about. One more thing we have to talk about.
Absolutely.
The Hall of Fame. The Hall of Fame.
You're right. I apologize. Let's go into the Hall of Fame. So obviously we had already mentioned it. We'll mention it one more time. It's Matthew Stafford, finally, first time in his career. Matthew Stafford is MVP Matthew Stafford. So congratulations to him. We had, like we've mentioned earlier,
Myles Garrett went Defensive Player of the Year.
Myles Garrett, Defensive Player of the Year. And then we had, sorry, I'm distracted because I'm trying to move some things around here on the screen. So then we had Coach of the Year, Mike Vrabel, which I I don't think anybody really discredited that. Kind of figured that was going to be the case. Assistant coach of the year, Mike McDaniels, or not Mike McDaniels, Josh McDaniels,
yeah.
Josh McDaniels.
Right.
So both New England coaches. The comeback player of the year and Christian McCaffrey. Offensive rookie of the year and Tet McMillan out of Carolina, wide receiver. Duly probably, I mean, to me, very well received and needed. That was the right pick. You know,
Yes.
he was consistent all year. The beginning of the year, everybody jumped on the Mbuka bandwagon. But at the end of the year, it was Tet because he grew into that number one
He got
slot.
stronger.
Yeah, he grew into that number one role and is going to be there until they decide they don't want him or he doesn't want to be there anymore. Offensive player of the year, Jackson Smith and Jigba, well deserved there. Had the most receiving yards in the league. Defensive rookie of the year that's the one I'm not sure of.
Carson Schlesinger from Cleveland had a hell of a year.
Okay. Who's number 55, right? I think so.
47 for them. 47 for them. Okay. Or 49. Yeah, 49. Hell of a year for the Browns. And the Browns had a fantastic draft. Had 4 or 5 contributors that were really good for them.
And again, would have made more sense to go with a defensive guy there in Cleveland.
Right. Right.
So in Cleveland, you get the defensive player of the year and the defensive rookie of the year out of Cleveland. And then the protector of the year, first ever protector of the year, goes to Joe Thuney from the Chicago Bears. Did I miss anybody else?
Pepsi NFL Rookie Year was Tyler Shuck.
Okay.
Which is interesting. Heck of a rookie year for him. If he would have played him early, he might have been the NFL Rookie of the Year.
So, the offensive Rookie of the Year
was Tet McMillan. The Pepsi Offensive Player of the Year was Rookie of the Year was it was Pepsi. It wasn't. It was like a secondary award.
That's why I didn't. That's why I didn't hear about it because that's why I was like, what did I miss?
Secondary. Right.
So okay. But again, we talked about him at the end of the year and how he turned it on, and we were excited for him and think that
absolutely
that is most definitely their starting quarterback from here on out.
Yep.
The kid showed so much promise, and Tolzien stays with him. He doesn't leave.
Yes. Right.
Tolzien, not Tolzien, but Tolzien ends up staying with him.
Yep.
When other teams wanted Scott, he was being wined and dined by some teams, but he decided, no, I'm going to stick around and stay with Tyler, and it's probably going to end up being a pretty good decision because I think
absolutely.
I think the Saints could do something here, especially if you move a couple pieces in that team. I don't think you have the option in moving Kamara because I think he was on his last year of his deal. So
I think they go running back in the draft. I think they take Love from Notre Dame.
That's what I'm seeing as well.
Pick for them.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing as well. But even Olave, moving Olave, which
there's been now.
There's been so many rumors about him being on the trading block. So
right,
who knows?
I just thought at the end of the year, the relationship they had on the field was really good. They were solid together.
Right.
But
he's kind of like Drake London though. You got to stay on the field though, man.
Yes, you can't be injured. Yeah.
No, you gotta stay on the field. So that was those are the two things about Olave that he needs to figure out. All right. So now, are we moving on to the Super Bowl?
No.
Okay.
The Hall of Fame. Hall of Fame.
Going back to the Hall of Fame.
We got to talk about the Hall of Fame.
You're okay. All right. I think I smell what you're leading me towards. What you're leading me towards is you want to talk about the debacle about Bill Belichick.
Well, not just him. The Roger Craig inductee, very questionable. Um,
The late Roger Craig.
right, very questionable. Listen, great player in his own right. Is he Hall of Fame worthy? Man, his numbers don't stack up to be Hall of Fame worthy. But listen, the NFL. I thought Fitzgerald was very deserving. Drew Brees is very deserving. Um, you know, you have a guy like Roger Cragen he was a veteran, right? He was a veteran on the veteran committee ad list. That's how he got in. Um, but you got guys like Reggie Wayne and you have guys like Torrey Holt, eight straight 1,000-yard seasons, eight straight Pro Bowls.
Right.
Reggie Wayne, 9 Pro Bowls. I
So
mean,
then my question becomes: was it his last year to be
it
inducted?
might have been his last year in the Veterans Committee. It could have been. But then you compare him, then there's a different discussion then. Because I'm just going to throw out a name that we're familiar with here in Pittsburgh, O.C. Greenwood, who
Right.
was part of the Steel Curtain. If you look at he was an All-Pro,
Yeah.
not a NFL. He was a three-time All-Pro, or Roger Craig was one. He made 6 Pro Bowls. Roger Craig made 3. So I don't know, man. It's just apples and oranges to me. How you can throw a guy in where I think there was guys that may have been more deserving. And that was one thing I wanted to talk about. The other one was the elephant in the room, the Bill Belichick debacle.
And Robert
Wow.
Kraft.
And Robert Kraft.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And the committee for the Pro Football Hall of Fame, not the voters, but the committee for the Pro Football Hall of Fame had come out today, I believe, and also said that there is going to be an ongoing investigation. And next year, there is going to be a different process for voting
Right.
for Hall of Famers for next year. Again, it can't be a popularity contest. What you should do is you should have somebody who's not a part of voting write down all their accolades. No names next to the accolades. Write down their accolades. Hand them over to the voters and say, pick one you think is the greatest out of this bunch, or pick 2 or 3 or 4. So they can be semifinalists and then finalists and then ultimately. And then in that way, you don't put a name next to it. And then people, I guarantee you're going to find out people are like, oh, wait, you voted for this guy? Well, if you look at his numbers.
Right. And here's my thing. The one thing I've always loved about the NFL, they voted by error in how the game was played, not necessarily stats. Okay? Right. Because a guy like Lynn Swann is in, deservingly so, led the team 1976 Steelers with 28 catches. But the game was a different ball game back then.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Now you look at Roger Craig. What he did, he was the first guy with 1,000-yard receiving, 1,000-yard. I mean, phenomenal. Listen, I'm not saying the guy's not Hall of Fame worthy. I'm just saying for a veteran, why did he get in over some other guys and how did he get in? But that's my big argument. My thing was Belichick. I have no idea how he's not a first ballot guy. I have no idea. It blew my mind.
8 Super Bowls, the most in history. 8, and he's not a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Right? How?
Don't know.
Love him or hate him? How?
Don't know. And I think that's what it is. I think too many people looked at maybe some of the side shit that he was involved in or alleged he was involved in.
Right.
The Spygate thing, the Deflategate thing, all that shit, and they held it against him.
I guarantee you, Tom Brady's getting a number in his first year.
Which is wild to say that you as a player are a first ballot Hall of Famer that played.
Yeah, you said Hall of Famer.
Yeah, I did say Hall of Famer. for I did.
You did.
It was on
Yeah.
accident, but I guess it really wasn't Hall of Famer.
Right.
But no, but you can't say that he played for a first ballot Hall of Fame coach.
Right. Come on, man.
Yeah, like that's
And
just
listen, God knows the Steelers fans don't hated New England. But
yeah.
boy, if anyone deserved to be in the Hall of Fame as a first ballot guy, he was surely one of them.
Oh, absolutely.
You
I mean,
know.
everybody around the league is like, "What are you doing?"
Right.
I mean,
Like,
X was flooded with people saying this is a travesty. This system is broken. It almost made it to the point where people were like, I don't even want to watch it. I don't even care.
well, so it's funny. I heard about it driving home, and I thought it was a joke, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I got it home, got comfortable, opened my phone up, I'm like, "Are you kidding me? This was real?"
Now, tell me this, Mike.
Yeah.
10 years ago, because I swear it was a lot different 10 years ago. Just 10 years ago. 10 years ago, how many people were elected to the Pro Football Hall of Fame?
I think it's 5. I'm not sure if they have a limit, but I think you have to get a certain amount of votes. But I think it's 5 every year.
I thought it
But
was
I think
like
it was. I
8.
thought there was a lot more before. I
That's
thought there
what
was
I'm
a lot
saying.
more.
That's my
Yeah.
point. My point is that it
Yeah.
seems like there's only 5 people to get in this year.
Yeah, which is crazy to me.
I almost thought that there was about 8 people that got in years before.
Dude, there definitely was. There definitely was. Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, how is Reggie Wayne not in there? How is Torrey Holt not? Look at these guys' numbers. Ridiculous. I mean, I just, man, and don't be like the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame, which is a joke. That's the one that's the biggest joke in the world. If you ever watch their voting and how you have to get a certain number of percentage to get in, 90, 88% or something like that. But don't quote me on that. I'm not sure exactly what the percentage is. But
between 4 and 8 new members are typically elected to the Pro Football
that's
Hall
what I'm
of Fame
saying,
each
right?
year.
And you get 5 when, man.
Yeah.
So you could have had 3 others in there easily this year, and they weren't in.
So my question is are you trying to create a backlog of players?
I've heard two scenarios where, it's a conspiracy against the Patriots and with what's a conspiracy? The guy deserves to be in the Hall of Fame first ballot. There's no conspiracy there.
There
He's
shouldn't
one of
be
the
a
greatest
conspiracy.
coaches of all time.
There shouldn't be a conspiracy. Not at all.
Right. And then on the Steelers front, L.C. Greenwood, there's no way he shouldn't even it was his last year.
Right.
So he won't get in the Hall? Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I just think they definitely have to review everything they're doing and see how they do it, because there's deserving guys out there who aren't getting in.
Mm-hmm. And again, considering the fact that you have the potential of electing 8 people,
why not?
Why is L.C. Greenwood not in there then?
Right. I mean, I don't understand.
Are we not electing 8 people because we're scared that the Hall of Fame ceremony is going to be 8 hours long with 2-hour speeches?
That's the one bias which I've heard constantly. They won't vote any more Steelers in from that particular team, because so many are in it from that team.
Who cares?
But exactly, you deserve to be in the Hall. You deserve to be in the Hall. Bottom line. Again, it's not a popularity contest. Right. It's on what you did on the field. That's bottom line.
Bingo.
Bottom line.
Why it was created.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So
not because you can sit there and say, well, I don't think any more Steelers should go in there. It's like, what?
Right.
So you saying from now until forever? Yeah.
Right. I mean, listen, that's like saying when Ben comes up, he's not going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer?
Right. Bunch of bums.
Hard time believing that.
Well, again, that's why they came out and they said that there's going to be, they're looking into it, and there's going to be a new protocol as far as how they vote and basically how they vote. A new system. So it never should have came to this though.
No.
You should have put in, now again, Larry Fitzgerald deserved it,
Deservedly so. Right.
but Bill Belichick deserved it more.
You let in a kicker over Belichick. Okay? You
But
let
let's
in a
not let. I
kicker.
mean, but again, let's not forget he was the best kicker in the league
Oh, listen, I'm not
in
faulting
history.
him putting him in there. My thing
Third
is
kicker
you
ever. Third kicker
right.
ever.
Right. I mean, he deserves to be in there.
But again, we have 8 slots.
Right.
We have up to 8 slots.
Right. And you didn't put him in. How Belichick did not get in just baffles me, man. Baffles me. So, rant over.
Now it's like,
Just need to get that
is
off my
he
chest
even?
there.
Yeah. Now it's like, well, if he's not in this year, he definitely has to be in next year. It's like, I don't know now because I thought he was definitely going to be in this year.
Right.
You know?
Well, it's kind of like the Baseball Hall of Fame not putting Bonds and Roger Clemens in.
But they have a
And
reason for that. That
no,
was
they
during
do.
the
Right.
the height of the
Steroid era.
steroid era.
Right. Right. Right.
Belichick wasn't taking steroids to win games.
No. 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 That's what baffles me. I want to see the list of who didn't vote this guy in and why. I want to know reasonings.
Well, again, I told you there was one guy. I think he was from Baltimore. He took out a letter in the paper and
Oh
explained
yeah, you did tell me. It was awesome. Yes.
why he didn't vote for Belichick. But that was one
Right.
out of 50.
Right. I know. Come on, dude.
One out of 50. So you're saying that 40 other people or 39 other people or actually 9 other
49
people.
other people.
No, 9
49
other
other
people.
people.
Because I think you need 40 or more. I think it's 40 plus to make the roster, the Hall of Fame, and the final votes. I think you need 50 votes, right? He was one of 50. So you're saying 9 other people felt the same way he did at that point in time? I mean, he certainly had his reasonings, which
And you know what? His
were
reasons were
valid.
legit.
Were
Yes,
valid.
I get that. Yes.
But you're saying that 9 other people, 9 plus other people said the same thing? Well, this guy deserved it and he didn't? Or this guy deserved it because it was his last year?
Right. Come on, man.
I just
I'm sorry.
I'm still hung up on the fact that there's 8 slots. You allot for 8 slots, at least from what the record shows, 4 to 8. So a maximum of 8, a minimum of 4,
Right.
and you chose to go under 8. But again, are you trying to create a backlog? What is the reasoning why we're not putting in 6 to 8 every year?
Right. It's frustrating, man. I don't get it. I don't get it.
I don't either. At all. At all, I don't get it. So I think now you want to talk about the Super
I think
Bowl?
now we're ready.
Okay. All right. Now we can talk about the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
I didn't think you wanted to there for a second.
I do.
Okay.
Still up in the air though for me.
About who's going to win this?
I think Seattle's going to win.
Okay,
I
well,
do.
let's talk about it real quick. Okay. The Seattle Seahawks, if you've been living under a rock, the Seattle Seahawks are going to take on the New England Patriots in the Super Bowl. What is it? Super Bowl 60? No, 50. 60. Okay, I was right.
Yeah.
I was trying to read Roman numerals, and it's pretty tough. After algebra kind of screwed me up, so. So at 6:30 on NBC or Peacock, depending on where you like to watch. If you're on Verizon or FiOS, you don't have NBC, so you have to watch it on Peacock. So the spread hasn't changed in almost 2 weeks, Mike.
Right, 4.5.
4.5. The Seattle Seahawks are giving the New England Patriots 4.5 points. The over-under has changed a little bit. Not much, but a little bit. The over-under now is 45.5.
If I were a betting man,
I
which
tell
I'm
you what.
going to be,
Yeah, me
I
too.
like the points. I like the points.
To be honest with you, Mike, I've heard everybody taking Patriots in the points.
That 4.5's a lot, man. It
Right.
is a lot in this
Right.
game.
Now,
I think you have two
here's
very good
something very
defensive
interesting.
teams.
Here's something
Yeah.
very interesting. In a week, this has gone from 70% of the bets to 62% of the bets
Wow.
on Seattle.
That's
It has
huge.
gone 8% down.
Wow. That's a lot in 1 week. That's a lot.
Yes. And I think
Wow.
you can attest to the fact that 4.5, people love it.
Yeah, well, I think it's a field goal game myself.
Well, very much so. And the other part about this is I think this year, or I think in championship games, or I can't remember how it was worded. Could have been just this year. Underdogs of 4.5 points or more were 1-5 against the spread.
Wow.
0-5 in the Super Bowl.
Wow. Okay.
So if you follow the analytics, if you follow the trends, if you follow past results, that is telling you that New England is going to win the game on points. Is going to cover the spread.
I ever since this matchup came out, it's just been too close to call for me. Two teams with really good defenses.
And they've
New
even
England
said
hasn't looked.
no, but they've even said that New England is about to face the worst
I know,
defense
which is insane.
in these playoffs this year. This is the worst defense. I almost said the Steelers. This is the worst defense the Patriots are going to play this year in the playoffs.
Yeah, because they face the Chargers and Broncos.
And
top
Houston.
5 defenses.
And Houston.
Right. Three of the top 6 defenses. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Insane.
Yeah.
Mike, I think me and you are kind of both on the same page here. I think the only thing where I'm waffling is the over under.
I like the under myself.
I like the over. I do agree with you. I could see this being a 23-20 game. But I can also see this being a 27-24 game. I think it kind of hits the low 50s here.
It could. Seattle has that offense. They snap a finger, they can put some points up.
Right.
New England, I was looking at some props today, just playing around.
Oh, I got a prop for you. Go ahead, tell me yours.
The one that interests me was Drake May, a rushing touchdown. This guy's their offense, man. He is their offense. There's one I'd bet on. It's that one.
Well, if you're going to take his rushing touchdown, you better take his over in rushing yards as well.
How much is that?
I think it's 19.5 rushing yards.
Oh, I'd definitely take that. Hell.
Yeah. Here's one for you that you might not even think of. Take the under 7.5 first quarter points.
I like that. Usually it's a slow moving quarter. The first.
I think the first half is going to be very dull. I think the second half is where we get the fireworks.
Yeah. Yeah, I think these teams are so evenly matched that.
Yeah. This could quite arguably be one of the greatest Super Bowls to watch.
Yeah, and
as of right now. Because again, right, because like you said, on paper, these are two of the best teams that should be playing for this championship.
Right.
And they're so evenly matched that this could very well be one of the greatest Super Bowls to watch. Because it's going to be competitive. It's going to be back and forth.
Yeah. I think the one interesting thing I saw was 0.5 interceptions for both quarterbacks.
Right.
I might throw something on both of them throwing a pick.
Hmm?
just with their history in the playoffs. Who knows?
There's a big prop right now on Seattle for a defensive touchdown.
Really?
30-1.
That's worth throwing $5 on.
Right?
Damn. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a big
Look
prop
into
on
that
that
one.
right now. Yeah.
Wow.
So it'll be
Wow.
interesting. I don't think it's any mistake if nobody has figured it out yet. Me and Mike are both on New England with the plus 4.5. I'm on the over. You're on the under. Am I correct in saying
Right.
that?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
I wouldn't be
Money line,
surprised.
I do like Seattle though.
Okay. I still like the Patriots.
Really?
I do. I do.
Wow.
It's tough because I like the Patriots. I like Vrabel. I'm confident in Josh McDaniels, but I'm also confident in Mike McDonald too.
So am I, man. That's yeah. Yeah.
You know, I'm still confident.
These two teams
Is Clint
mirror
Kubiak going to
each other.
check out? Is Clint Kubiak going to check out? Is he already thinking about Vegas and how he's going to fix that team?
That's a thing I always think about. Like, how far are you looking ahead, knowing that you're going to be the next coach of the LA Raiders?
I mean,
Las Vegas Raiders. I mean,
it's pretty much a done deal.
yes.
They can't put pen to paper until this game is officially over.
Right. Right. It'll be done Monday.
Right.
So, right. Everyone in the world knows who'll be the next head coach of the Raiders.
Right.
So,
and he's got the job. Right, and he's got the job whether he's a Super Bowl winning coach, Bowl winning coach, or a Super Bowl runner-up coach.
Right, right.
He's still going to be the head coach of the Vegas Raiders.
Yeah.
Boy, oh boy. Interesting.
Yeah, very, very much so.
I mean, it's if anything, it throws just a little shadow of a doubt that
definitely.
New England could very well win this game.
It wouldn't shock me just because I think they're so evenly matched. I'm just looking at how Seattle played at the end of the year, who they beat, how they beat them. Like, they've won in multiple different facets with defense, with offense.
Right.
Running the ball, passing the ball.
And not to mention the Seattle's offense is nothing to shake a leg at either. I mean, Kenneth Walker, Jackson Smith, Sam Darnold,
Varner. That guy's interesting. I think 29.5 yards receiving is a prop bet for Cooper Kupp,
and
which is interesting.
Rashid Shaheed.
21.5. 21.5, yeah.
21.5. I'll tell you what. While we're sitting here talking about it, instead of guessing about it, let me pull it up.
Okay.
Let me pull it up. Because you already know I'm gonna go banana land for this. Last game of the year. Okay. So let's see. I'm going to go individually. All right, passing prop. Passing yards over under. Drake May 222.5. Sam Darnold 229.5. Over under.
Wow.
What do you think?
So Sam Darnold, Drake May is 220.
Darnold is 222.5. Oh, I'm sorry. May is 222.5. Darnold 229.5.
I'd probably go under for May, over for Darnold.
I was thinking the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Thinking the exact same thing. Let's go to receiving props.
Do you have gum?
No.
Sounds like you did.
No, not gum, but receiving over under. I'll go one by one. Jackson Smith and Jigba 93.5.
Man, that's a tough one, man. That's a big. If that's the case, he's MVP. I'm going under.
I would go under as well.
Yeah,
Stephon Diggs, 44.5.
I'll go over.
Cooper Kupp, 32.5.
I'm going over just because I'm going Darnold over 229.
I would go under. I would probably, if that's the case, I'd put Jackson Smith over and put him under.
Okay. Okay.
What's the matter?
Mom said she'll get it.
Oh, okay. Hunter Henry, 38.5.
He's a security blanket. I kind of like the over in that one. But they do use what's his name too, the other tight end in New England. So I'd go over in that one. I'd even squeeze him in for a touchdown for New England.
Yeah, possibly. AJ Barner, 24.5.
I like the over in that one.
Mac Hollins, 24.5.
You know, he had a pretty big game. Well, for him anyway, against Denver. 2 big catches, I remember. What's the rushing yards look like?
We'll get to that. I'm going to get to.
Where's Keyshawn Butte?
I'm going to get to that right now. Well, the next. Well, we already said Rashid Shaheed, 21.5.
Yeah, I'd go over.
Right.
Yeah.
Keyshawn Butte, 29.5.
I think they need him if they want to win, so I'd go over.
Yeah. All right. On to rushing over under. Kenneth Walker, 72.5.
I'm going over.
Ramondre Stevenson, 49.5.
I got to go over.
Travion Henderson, 18.5.
I got to go over.
Drake May, 35.5.
Oh, I'm going under.
Really?
Yeah, I'm going under.
What did he have last week?
Like 54, 56, maybe.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying, yeah.
He led the team in rushing.
Yeah. Here you go. Put all your money on it. Sam Darnold, 5.5.
Under.
Under. Well,
I'm going under.
It's only going under if they have to do the victory formation.
And it could happen. It could happen.
You're very well correct. It could happen. All right. So I told you about the defense special team.
You said 30-1.
Defense. Let's see. To record a sack. So if no, it doesn't say it there. Yeah, I want to say it was. Yeah, game specials here, but it doesn't have a kickoff return or a punt return or anything like that. But I thought I'm sure it's in here somewhere. Maybe game specials on defense. No. Game special touchdowns. No. I don't know. I'd have to do some research on here. But I like the oh my God. Any player to record 506 plus passing yards, which is a Super Bowl record, is plus 15,000.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
either quarterback to record 7+ passing touchdowns, which is a Super Bowl record,
Okay.
plus 20,000.
Holy cow.
Plus 20,000.
Wow.
Um,
What's a safety worth?
it's probably buried in here somewhere.
Right.
Here's one that doesn't say. You could probably say that, could happen in this game. No touchdown in the game, plus 17,500.
Wow. That's interesting.
Right.
Throw a buck on that.
Yeah, why not?
Right? That's a good nickel and dimer bet.
Yeah. So here's another little tidbit here, okay, right? So the Triple Crown, there's a bet here, the Triple Crown, most passing, receiving, and rushing yards. So
Okay.
obviously there's a slew of guys here. There's combinations and everything like that, right?
Right.
Darnold, JSN, and Kenneth Walker for most pass, receiving, and rush. Could happen.
Okay.
That's at plus 330. That's probably the most feasible one, plus 330.
Okay.
Not bad though. Oh, this is so funny too. Plus 1,700.
Okay.
Sam Darnold for most pass, not far fetched.
Okay.
JSN for most receiving.
Okay.
Drake
May
May
for most rushing.
Most rushing.
Could happen.
It could. Hey, look, until the game starts, any of these are possible.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. Until these start, any of these are possible. To go all the way down to the very bottom, but this one actually isn't so bad. Okay, there's quite a few plus 30,000s, okay?
Wow. Okay.
But they're not, some of these aren't bad. Sam Darnold, Mac Hollins, Trevion Henderson, plus 30,000.
Wow. Wow.
Here you go. Drake May, Cooper Cup, and Drake May. Plus 30,000. Here's one that's not far fetched. Drake May, Rashid Shaheed, and Trevion Henderson. Plus 30,000.
Wow, that isn't. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah. I didn't see the kickoff or not the kickoff, but the
Coin flip?
The coin flip on here. Popular. Featured. No. Final score. Coin toss result. There it is. Heads or tails. Both of them are at minus 104.
I'm going heads.
I'm going tails.
They say tails never fails.
Yeah. I'm going tails to back up my boy Sam Jerome Bettis. 1996.
Detroit. Yeah, Detroit Thanksgiving. Damn.
Yeah. I'm gonna back up my guy.
That.
Yeah, tails.
Yeah.
Player said it was heads because they said it was tails.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you are into betting, there are you could spend a whole 24 hours on at least FanDuel is what I'm using, and you could just go banana land on the possibilities. Obviously, I gave you what I would think for sure, which let me go back to see what that is, to be honest with you. Quarter props. First quarter. Mm. Receiving yards. No, those are pass yards. I want first quarter score. Those are all player props first quarter.
Here's some breaking news.
Okay.
Ex NFL linebacker Darren Lee, first round pick the New York Jets in 2016,
Yep.
arrested and charged with first degree murder and the death of his girlfriend.
Yep. I just saw that as it came across my phone.
Wow.
Yeah. Um. First quarter spread. Where's that at? Because they have the first quarter lines is the Patriots plus 1.5. Oh, here's the first quarter over under 8.5. They have it 8.5. I'm going under on that, and that's it minus 134. But
Wow.
I would
Okay.
also pair that with I would also pair that with some other things to make a pretty decent parlay.
Right. Right.
But I would use that as one of my parlay builders.
That's interesting, man.
Yeah.
I have to go look at all them. There's a lot of crazy ones.
Oh
So
God, there's so much,
you know.
so much. Um. So yeah, but I don't know, Mike. I mean, we're looking at an hour and 45 minutes here. We've pretty much covered everything.
Yeah.
The only thing we haven't talked about was how shitty the Pro Bowl games were, but I don't think we need to because I didn't watch them, nor
I
did I
didn't
pay
even watch
attention
it.
to
So
them.
you, whatever you tell me about it, I'll learn that right now.
Yeah,
So
so I didn't watch them either, and um, we've already talked about how they've fallen off, and I don't think anybody really cares about them anymore. So yeah, I just whatever. Go back to the way they
yeah.
were, and then people will care. But as of right now, nobody does.
Right.
Um, so yeah, an hour 45 minutes talking about the news and going over this game and some of the prop bets and everything like that we are going to be looking at for this game. And I think with that, Mike, we are all but finished.
I think
Um,
so.
Obviously, thank you to everybody out there for following along with us and sticking with us through the entire year. Hopefully, it was entertaining for you. And oh, here we go. Here we go. Bald since 1655. Cup and Barner get TDs. Bank it. All right. I
Okay.
mean, I ain't against it. Like I told Mike earlier, buddy. Uh, every bet is a good bet until the game starts. You know. So it looks like a good bet until it ain't. So
That's
why
right.
not throw a
That's
couple
right.
bucks on it? Couple TDs there. I mean, somebody's going to score points in this game. It's just a matter of who.
Right. Right.
We'll find that out. You can definitely make arguments for the fact that you know they're going to game plan for JSN. They're going to game plan for running the ball. Um, so Barner and Cup could see a decent amount. Could see some increased activity there. Darnold could be easily looking for those guys more, knowing that JSN is going to be blanketed. So those aren't far fetched at all. Rashid Saheed, another one, 21 and a half. Boy, that seems egregious towards
That
him,
seems low. Yeah, it does.
you
It
know?
does.
So, phew, I mean, that's probably something I'm going to build on with that under of 8.5 for first quarter total. Um, but yeah, so with that being said, again, thank you everybody for joining us all year. We will do another stream, a get together to talk more about sports as it happens. Probably a little bit far in between what we are now, so we're probably going to take probably about 2 weeks off. Let the news uh, happen, and then come back and talk about it when we have
Sounds good to me.
something to put a show together with. Um, Coming on for 30 minutes and talking about the Super Bowl. We could do it, but that would be it. It'd be like a 30-minute show, if that. So we try to put everything together for you, so it's a little bit longer of a show. But yeah, again, thanks everybody. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Turn on those notification bells so you know when we go live and you never miss an upload. And don't forget, if you lose any bets, it's not our responsibility. It's your money. So yeah,
That's it.
that's it. It's on you. It's not on us.
That's it, man.
Because we're gonna lose money right next to you. So don't blame us. We're
Absolutely.
gonna
That's right.
lose it too.
That's why
But
we're the sports dummies.
that's why we are the sports dummies. So again, we will be checking in with everybody probably in a couple weeks or when something fantastic happens. Kind of reminds me of the end of The Incredibles when the guy's sitting there and the kid's sitting there and he goes, "What are you sitting here for?" And he goes, "I don't know, something amazing happened, I guess."
Yep.
So
Yep.
that's pretty much what's going to happen. So again, thank you everybody. Hope everybody had a great season. We had fun. Can't wait to do it all again next year with the season. We will be back heavy whenever, probably around August, late July, August, somewhere around
Yeah.
there.
Even April for the draft
We will
preview type
definitely be
thing.
back for the draft to talk about the draft, maybe to do a draft show,
Right.
strictly just a draft and maybe just the first round because getting
Right.
getting into the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, it gets a little bit very far in depth. So maybe we just come and
Hmm.
do reactions to the first round or do a pre-show of the first round, whatever it is. We will talk about it and we will get back here. Um, and I'm sure by that time we will also have some combine news, some cuts, some releases, things of that nature. So more things will come out. Not saying that we're not coming back until April, but um, we will we will be on as we need to be from pretty much here going out.
Yep.
So again, I can't thank you all enough whatsoever for joining us for so long. And enjoy the last football game of the year. Um,
Yes.
hope it is as good as we all think it's going to be. So, with that being said, Mike,
See
good
you
night,
later,
everybody.
peeps.